the death notice, and Chance doesn't give a F. What a day. What a day, Louis says. He's like, yes, it is. And it also reminded me of, anybody want thing? I'll take a slice. It had a little. This is kind of. I really felt in the French Dispatch frame of this a little bit. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah, it did have a. If we were doing casting call for directors on a remake, Wes Anderson would kill it.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Yes.
When he leaves the house for the first time in a single shot, they did a really effective job at conveying the weight of the situation, I thought.
Would you stay out of my effing book? Okay, this is the second time you've done this. I'm not saying that we cannot share thoughts, but you're saying them in the order that
I'm not.
At least respect me and at least read what I have because you're saying it. Just read it. You want it. You've been in there. Just read it. Read it. Jeez.
A space.
No, what minute mark? Say it. Say it.
20 minutes in. Yeah, okay.
No, read it. Just read it.
No,
you're saying
I don't want to be in your book. We're on the same page, but I am not in your book.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We good?
Yeah. Right. In a single shot, they did a very effective job at conveying the weight of the situation that he has never left the house before. The adventurous music juxtaposed with the dankness of reality. It was like watching an alien land on a foreign planet. And then that whole, who sent you, boy? Did that chicken shit Raphael send you, boy? If I see Raphael, I will give him your message. Good day. When Chance approaches the gang of kids asking where he can find a gardening job, he's like, it's winter.
I should start the seeds for the spring and work the soil.
There's much work to be done. It was a quick way to show how unwise he is to the real world. Stereotypically, especially in a movie released around this time, an old white guy would do anything he could to create as much distance between himself and a group like that as possible. But
he handled that situation way better than Bruce Willis did in Die Hard too.
Well, and it was like he sought them out. They were the first. They were like the second people after asking for the sandwich. They were the second people that he actually approached and interacted with. And that shot of him walking down the middle of the street toward the Capitol is great in that same montage. And then the callback to it, of course, later on in the movie, the first black guy he sees after that encounter is a doctor. Yeah.
Do you know Raphael?
It was going back to that old school racism.
But it wasn't though.
But it was. Like all black guys know each other.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. But Chance didn't mean that. But I guess
no, he didn't mean it like that. But the writers sure got to have a little bit of fun with the satire.
They definitely did. Hey, he handled that scene way better than Bruce Willis did in Die Hard too. And if you're asking me why I said that again, because I really want you to visualize what I'm talking about now. When Bruce Willis walked up with that sign on that said, "I hate Niggers."
Mm-hmm.
Because Bruce,
Bruce has demons. He has skeletons.
We all know how Bruce feels about the blacks. And that's not quoting me. That's quoting the roast of Bruce Willis.
Yeah, there was never. It was like there was no distinction for Peter Sellers or Chance.
Not at all. Jesus loves the little children, whether yellow, black, or white. There's Jesus. Yet again. Hey, come on, brother. Rock with me, man. I'll pull you over. I'll get you, Peter.
I rock with you. I just don't rock with Jesus.
And we're canceled. All right, at the 26-minute mark, Thomas reality warps. You brought this earlier. As he tries to change himself on TV. All his life, he's been watching TV, mimicking TV, and he finally sees himself in front of TV. So to me, that's like your mind being blown. Like, wait a minute. I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, I thought he was gonna have a mental breakdown right there. They could have really happened. So I love that part.
Yeah, that was and then with the music playing too, it was so cool. Mm-hmm. It was like a final frontier.
Yes.
The dinner scene when he first comes to the Rand's house, that was just a brilliantly written scene that had when he says Chance says to the old man, he's like, all I've got is the room upstairs. And the old man's like,
oh, come on now. Wait a minute, Chauncey.
Now, Chauncey, you got your health.
I don't want to hear any more from you about that room upstairs. That's where I'm going.
I love that.
That started the metaphor off, like, where people assume Chance is talking in code. He thinks he's talking about heaven. He's really talking about that room upstairs that he gets to sleep in.
What made me laugh so much about that is, and it's funny because normally we'll see a movie beforehand and then see a movie in the future, which happened in this case, and get to reference it. But for me, it was backwards. I saw a certain movie And then I went back to go watch this one. But what made me laugh about it reminded me of life when Eddie Murphy was like, "You like baseball, don't you? Nigga, we on deck. We up next. Nigga, the upper room. The upper room." Like, yeah, that it made me laugh so much about that. That was pretty good, man. I like that. At the minute 43 mark, we talked about this with Nick. You wait right there.
You wait right here. I'll go get Warren.
Have you ever had sex with a man? It's like, again, here are the writers playing it up. It's like, again, they would never be able to do this nowadays with cancel culture. And this is why I say comedy is the one sacred thing that should never be touched. Comedy will it makes you laugh in order to then have a discussion about something, whether it's racism, sexism, all those letters, LGBTQ, ABC 1, 2, 3, Jackson's you and me, like whatever the situation is, not to take light of it. Comedy is the way in. First, you laugh about it and say, okay, I can see how that can offend you. I didn't even mean it that way.
I like to watch.
You like to, watch?
Yes.
And I like to watch that whole. There's another person that when a sexual activity was happening in the dark room, they were more interested in what was happening on the television.
Chance,
and then Rain Man was the same thing.
Oh yeah. Or and you know what's crazy about that? Get your remote, Chance. There you go. But again, make that sound again. What did he do? And what did I say earlier? This reminded him what? Forrest Gump. My brother,
it's all connected.
Yeah, we're killing this, man. We are killing it. Though,
killing this ish.
Clearly, we can do an episode without cursing.
Speaking of when Eve seduces him during Mr. Rogers.
That's a bad statement, but I like it. It's so bad.
How he is so oblivious to her advances, that awkward smile that they both do after, like, he just looks at her, he's like, yes. And then the cleverness, I got the wink here when she's making out with him and the Mr. Rogers song is playing about a special friend.
You are my friend, you are special.
And then
who's that at the door? Maybe that's a special friend.
Yeah. And then him once again misunderstanding his way through a situation and looking amazing because of it. She's like, oh, I'm glad you didn't open, Eve.
That was very astute.
And I have to say, this movie was really, as funny as it was throughout the whole thing and as interesting as it was really challenging to pinpoint specific scenes or lines for these sections of the show because everything is such a slow burn. Yeah,
you did mention that. And this is, kids, if you don't know what a slow burn is, watch this film and you'll know it. The all-seeing eye, I even drew it out there in case I forgot what I was doing that time. The all-seeing eye. The secret, not so secret society. The secret, not so secret society. Old Skull and Bones literally had a meeting about the future of this country while the so-called president gave a eulogy, which turned out to be his own.
Yeah, that was
Which hold on. So that means the president will never truly be in charge because we, and I say that loosely, cough electoral college.
Yeah. They did it so underhandedly. Like they were revealing these things that really happened behind closed doors, but it was never conveyed so blatantly, like these are bad people that are.
They were the pallbearers, and it was 6 of them, 6 feet deep. It was so 666, like devil, like God, Lee, man, like they were throwing it in our face, like, okay, guys, we're gonna make this movie now. 20 years now, the woke culture will start talking about the Illuminati.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, all right.
The last scene that I had was this is 2 hours in as well. When the moment when the doctor said after the old man Rand dies, and he's standing at the bed. First of all, it was just such an amazing scene for Peter Sellers, as far as Peter Sellers' performance was, because he's a man that has never shown emotion as that character, and in that moment, you still see that his emotion is reserved, but you're watching the whole performance is in his eyes, and the doctor did a really good job in that scene too, where he goes, "And you really are a gardener, aren't you?" And Chance, just as deliberately as he says anything else in the movie, he just says yes. No inclination that he was ever purposefully trying to deceive anybody. He's always been straightforward. He was very consistent from the first time you meet him until the very end. There's really no arc in his character.
And I think it was beautiful that the only person that figured it out was a doctor.
I think that's what's amazing to me about this movie is because on the page, like, how does it work? There is no antagonist. There's no arc in the protagonist.
It works because every movie before and after that has made us look for one, and there isn't one, and that's what makes it beautiful. Last thing is that shout out to this, like we gave a shout out to the wooden puppet from was that Invention of Line or was that the 10? I can't remember.
The 10.
The 10. Shout out to, because listen, nowadays this machine would cost a lot. When Ben was dying and he's talking to that computer that is writing out what he's saying and printing it out, I was just like, I can only imagine how much that costs now. But back, how rich are you? Because back that had to be a $250,000 machine. These microphones are picking up what we're saying, and we're sitting right here. He was laying in his bed all the way back, diaphragm.
I know for a fact that Dragon Touch voice recognition software in 1999 was like $275.
So this is 1978.
Yeah, and about that scene, I really did appreciate the attention to detail that the production design had.
As he was saying, it was
even when it was a bokeh.
That's not even post production. That can't be post production.
No, when it was a bokeh shot in the background, you could see like the right size words. If they were blurry, you couldn't see what they were, but you could tell okay, that's like, you could see the words coming up as he was talking, even when that, like, nowadays they would cut away or something.
I thought they did that to leave themselves open for a different ending, because maybe they didn't know how they were going to end it.
For him to find that letter about him or something.
Not even that letter, like almost like, hey, well, this is a will. This is his now. Like, I trust, like he was saying stuff about Chance, like giving him everything. He'd already given him his wife.
Did you notice when Old Man Rand decided that that's his name, when he decided that, like, I don't want treatment anymore.
It's not good, Ben.
I know.
And that he was going to, he was just going to let death take its course. Right after that scene with the doctor, it cuts to outside, the curtains close. It's almost like life is a production. It's a stage play. Like, this is the final curtain call.
That is beautiful, guys. I'm gonna just tell you this: we're born in '83. The movie came out in '79. I challenge you to find better.
Oh, before we move on from favorite scenes, we asked our guest Nick McLean, the cinematographer, what his favorite scene was. Check that out right now.
My favorite scene, obviously, was the end scene when he walks on water. And he made the scene because we put those planks under the water and waited for the sky where you wouldn't see the planks under the water. But we shot that. It was the last shot before we were coming back to LA. And Peter would just go out and stop, and then we're getting ready to wrap. And Hal said, "Peter, you got anything else you want to do?" And he said, "Let me try it one more time." And that's when he takes the umbrella and sticks it down like, he was really walking on water. So Peter made the whole deal, but that was just so much fun.